Okay, so I think we are ready to start. So yeah, thank you again all for participating in this session. We are pleased to welcome here people from Repsol and Galp teams to present you the opportunity we have for the audience today. Feel free to ask some questions, of course, in the chat or in the questions tab. In the questions tab, you'll be able to upvote for the questions, so it's just easier for us to see which one of the most interesting questions for you. But feel free to also interact in the chat with us. And I think we can start already by quickly introducing Hello Tomorrow, who we are, very quickly. I will then introduce the speakers of our session. They will introduce their companies as well, and then we'll go into the content of the challenge. So Vincent, if you want to quickly introduce Hello Tomorrow to the crowd.
Of course, and I think I have one slide, right?
Yeah.
So that's a challenge for me. No, thank you very much, Luca. So Luca is the project lead on this project on Hello Tomorrow's side, and we don't want to steal the show because the team from Repsol, the team from Galp, and of course your questions are the most important things today during this session. So Hello Tomorrow, what is it? I think some of you might know us. You might have already discussed with Luca or someone else from the team. Our goal is to accelerate deep tech ventures, and especially deep tech startups, to help them develop, grow, and even thrive. And today we have 30 people, all based in Paris with 15 nationalities. And what we do since 2011 is building collaborative ecosystems around deep tech, of startups, of VCs, of corporates, and so on. And with Repsol and Galp, today we're organizing one of the few tailor-made startup challenge that we do every year. And we're really happy to help them do that, connect with the right solution providers for their needs. That being said, if you want to know more, connect with us on LinkedIn or directly go to Hello Tomorrow website, and we'll be happy to exchange with you. Luca, I think you want to present our host here today.
Sure, yes, thank you, Vincent, Thanks. For the quick intro. We don't want to take too much time. So our speakers today are from the Repsol and Galp team. So we have Sylvia Perez from as Senior Open Innovation Expert. We have Sandra Blasquez, Head of Open Innovation with us today. Maria Dolores and Micaela Taborga, who are Senior Scientists at Repsol for the more, I could say, like technical questions. And on Galp side, we have Manuel Andrade, is Head of Open Innovation, and Fernando Borges, who is Production and Operation Leads. So thank you also to all our speakers for being here today. Right now, I will let the floor to the Repsol team, and I think Sylvia will present the open innovation initiatives at Repsol. So yeah, Sylvia, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Lucas. Hello, everyone. Thanks a lot for connecting today to the webinar. I will give a very brief summary of what is Repsol, the overview of our company, and how we approach to the open innovation. So first of all, some figures. Repsol is a global multi-energy company that is present throughout the energy value chain. And the company employs 24,000 people worldwide and distributes the products in nearly 100 countries to around 24 million customers. Repsol produces an average of 600,000 barrels of oil equivalent per day, and we are currently in a transition moment. We are now transforming our 7 industrial complexes in Spain, Portugal, and Peru into multi-energy hubs. Repsol is a major player in the power and gas market in Spain, and we have increased a lot our presence in the renewable business, with a total installed capacity of 3.7 gigawatts in Spain and Chile. We are in a transformation moment, with an ambitious target of achieving decarbonization, and in this line, we have launched more than 200 digital transformation initiatives, near 300 circular economy initiatives, and we have reduced 5.5 million tons of CO2 since 2006. We have near 5,000 service stations in Spain, Portugal, Peru, and Mexico, and we also lead the development of sustainability mobility solutions with efficient fuels, biofuels, autogas, natural gas for vehicles, and electric vehicle charging solutions. So, as I anticipated, we are in a transformation moment because we have a really big challenge to meet. We need to become, and we will become, a net zero emissions company by 2050. And we have several milestones to be met from now until that moment. And to achieve this, we need to develop technology in many different areas. We have three main search fields that are included in our in this transformation, in this transition moment. And the first one is low carbon and circular economy. Second one, all technologies related to advanced mobility and renewables. And third one, the technologies for assets optimization, where all the digitalization technologies are located. In the first one, in the low carbon and circular economy, is where all the technologies regarding CO2 removal and CO2 utilization are located. So this is the topic of our challenge today. So this slide tries to reflect the transformation that I anticipated before. As I commented, our industrial complexes are in a transformation moment from the traditional model that is represented in the left side of the slide to the multi-energy hub model that is the one that I commented at the beginning. The future model of refineries and petrochemical complex will incorporate the majority of the technologies that I presented in the previous slide. They will incorporate renewable energy, electrolyzer, hydrogen, biogas, organic and plastic waste as raw materials, biofuels, and also all technologies related to CO2 capture and CO2 valorization. Everything with the same target, becoming net zero emissions company by 2050. So how we do that? So our approach is in terms of innovation is with open innovation model. So that includes two main parts of a big model. One of that includes the combination of internal capabilities, what we call innovation, with external capabilities, what we call exnovation. In the internal capabilities is located all the things related to our Repsol Technology Lab, our R&D center that is located in the surroundings of Madrid, with more than 230 experts and with 20 laboratories, 35 pilot labs. Our experts and our scientists have expertise in many different fields like advanced mathematics, process design, bioenergy, advanced mobility, and so on. And they work on the development of technology products that some of these products become a spin-off. But in order to meet this important challenge, we cannot do that alone. We need to accelerate the innovation through the collaboration with others. So this is the part of the exnovation, the exnovation thing. So with who collaborate? We establish collaborations with universities, with R&D centers, with other corporations, and with the startups, apart from the administrations as well, in order to accelerate this technology development. So the main objectives that we have in our model is the early detection of technologies, the validation and scale-up of technologies, and the acceleration of all the innovation cycles, because 2050 is quite near, if you don't think so. And the basis for that is the support to the technology transfer. We support transferring the science to the market, and also support to the entrepreneurship ecosystem. So in the last slide that we want to share today, these are some of the tools that we have implemented, that we have deployed in our open innovation area to achieve the objectives that I have mentioned in the previous slide. These tools are classified depending on the use of capital that they imply, and also depending on the innovation phase where we apply that tool. Some of them include investing, for example, the ones that are covered by our corporate venturing fund, that is the Repsol Deep Tech Fund, as well as other participation in other funds, taking equity of some startups that develop technology. Some of the initiatives are internal, like the products that are developed in the technology center 100% by our scientists, but some of them are participating in external initiatives, like our participation in different incubators and accelerators, in different networks and hubs, not only at national level, but also at regional and international level, participation in venture builders, etc. Also, we have mixed initiatives where we have special agreements and alliances with universities, with R&D centers, and also with other corporations. We have also other initiatives where we collaborate with the startups, but not without an investing strategy. For example, we have a platform of proof of concepts that we call Ideaction, where we validate technology from startups or university or R&D centers in order to have like the minimum information to know if we establish a collaboration for a co-development in a future phase. Also, we have incorporated the venture client model in some working with the startups that are in a more advanced phase. So this is just a very brief snapshot of the possibilities of working with Repsol in this big challenge that we have ahead.
All right, thank you very much, Sylvia. Oh, sorry, Manuel, you were really...
No, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Sylvia, for the presentation of Repsol. Yeah, now I'll let Manuel go ahead for the Galp innovation and strategy focus.
Okay, thank you. And thank you, Sylvia, for your great presentation. Actually, I'm going to repeat probably most of what Sylvia has said, because our strategies are very similar, and also the tools that we have to foster innovation. So it will be a repetition, and that's probably no coincidence, since both companies are so aligned. And that's why we probably joined the efforts to do this challenge, this innovation challenge, and because we are actually looking for the same thing, and we are partnering, and collaboration, as Sylvia was saying, is key in the future of our industry to tackle the challenge of energy transition, which is probably the biggest challenge mankind is facing right now. And so we need all the help we can get to solve it. Okay, so here is our one pager. So it's Galp in numbers. We are a bit smaller than Repsol. We only have almost 7,000 employees. We are in 10 countries. Nowadays, we are exploring oil and gas, mostly in Africa and Brazil. That's where Brazil is actually it's where we have more assets in terms of production. We are also a multi-fuel company, because we sell electricity, we sell natural gas, we sell all kind of fuels. And as you can see here, we have around 1,500 service stations, mostly in Portugal and in Spain, and then some in some other African countries. As I was saying, one of our objectives of decarbonization is to get solar production online, to get to 12 gigawatts in 2030. Nowadays, we have 4 gigawatts coming online. And we are planning big investments, not only in the Iberian Peninsula, so Portugal and Spain, but also in Brazil. We will be investing in Brazil in a lot of technologies related to renewables, wind and solar, because the potential that we recognize in that country are great. So one other important aspect on our strategy and our decarbonization tasks are similar to Repsol. We need to get to 250 zero emissions. So that's why we are also turning our industrial plants into green hubs. So the refineries we have, we will be turning them in green hubs, like Sylvia was saying. We also be producing hydrogen, low carbon fuels, alternative fuels, sustainable aviation fuels. We will couple our refineries with with solar parks and wind farms to make them energy hubs with clean energy hubs for the future. In electric mobility, we are also leaders here in Portugal. We intend to be in Brazil. We are installing 8 charging stations a day. We want to get to 2025 with 10,000 chargers only in Portugal, which is a daunting task, but we will try to do it. We are also coming with a battery value chain. So we are exploring, or we are planning to explore lithium in Portugal. Portugal has the 5th largest world reserves in lithium. We just joined Northvolt, which is the biggest battery car manufacturer in Europe. They make the batteries for the likes of BMWs and Volvos, and we just signed a joint venture with them. So we will be producing lithium hydroxide here in Portugal, and then we will be that lithium hydroxide will be used to produce the batteries here in Europe, also contributing to make Europe a little bit less dependent on other parts of the world for their energy needs. So in a snapshot, this is basically what we do. The question of our decarbonization path, it's really important. That's why we are reshaping our portfolio. So all the investments that we are doing today, our capex, more than half is going directly to renewables. And we just announced last year that we just found our last frontier well, which is in Saint-Mé Príncipe. So we'll be exploring oil there. If we don't find any oil, it's the last place we'll be looking for, and we will become a only renewable company in terms of investment in the future. Okay, so here it's how we are organized. We have the production and operations center in innovation. Also, and here are all the plants and all the industrial facilities that we have. Then we have the downstream innovation center where we do all that is innovation in terms of our commercial services. Cashierless stores. We were the first, actually, we were the first oil company in Europe to install a cashierless store in our service stations with a Portuguese startup, which is made us very proud, and it's something that we are planning to expand. So this is the kind of thing that comes from our downstream innovation center. And also, obviously, renewables and new business with energy management, which is also a game changer in the future. Since our grid will become more renewable, it will become more unstable. We will need long duration energy storage. We will need new ways of storing energy and make the grid more local and less concentrated in big plants. How do we do this? Also through collaboration, through innovation. We launched Galp Upcoming Energies, which is our open innovation platform. That its intention is to connect with the external ecosystem. And when we talk about external ecosystem, both startups and academia. So we do a lot of work with universities and also with startups like Repsol. We are now joining 4 collabs, which is laboratories that are being built as a consortium with universities and other stakeholders. One of them is Net4CO2, which is interesting, which is a proprietary technology that we have for carbon capture, which is sorry, I'm in the office and there's a lot of people, there's a lot of noise. Okay. And so I was talking about this Net4CO2, which is a collab that we have with some Portuguese universities developing that carbon capture technology, which is, I invite you to then look into it because it's very interesting. Obviously, our work doesn't stop here. So since we need, as Sylvia was saying, collaboration will be key, and that's why actually we are launching this challenge. Here you can see a little bit of what we've been doing in terms of decarbonization, our path to the future of a net zero emission. Here you can see also that we have an investment tool. So we have a CVC that is looking to startups in most stages, but especially with higher TRLs or scale-ups in order to invest and to create conditions for them to grow. We launch Upcoming Energies, as I was telling you, that that is our open innovation platform, and that helps startups with early stage to grow, to accelerate them, and probably make them a target for one day our CVC make them part of Galp. Okay, so we also launch. Sorry, I don't know. I didn't move this. Okay. We also launch. Well, Startup the Future was our first startup engagement program internationally, and we are investing as of now 75 million euros in innovation projects as of today, and we are planning to invest at least 180 more until 2025. And here are the big numbers. As you can see, we will want to get to 10,000 charging points. We have now 4 gigawatts, but we intend to get to 12 gigawatts in 2030. We are also building an electrolyzer, and we are planning to produce 25,000 tons of lithium hydroxide. And I think basically this is it. If you have any doubts or any questions, feel free to put them now. We are very glad to be here, and I think it's a great sign that you see two energy companies holding hands and challenging the ecosystem with a common challenge. So it's great to be here.
Thank you very much, Manuel, for the presentation, and Sylvia too. I think the audience now you understand that we will present you this challenge about CO2 removal and valorization, but it's just one part of a much bigger opportunity that we want to provide, which is to develop all the kind of projects that Repsol and Galp are working on. So now let's deep dive a bit more into the challenge. So we try to help. The idea is to help Repsol and Galp to achieve their carbon neutrality targets. And here we are focused, as we were saying, on CO2 removal and valorization. So concretely, we are looking for technologies that can provide solution for carbon capture and utilization. So to develop and to produce chemicals out of CO2, to mineralize CO2, or to develop new kind of fuels and proteins even from CO2. So all the technologies that will help us create this carbon-based economy. And on the other hand, we're also looking to find some technologies around direct air capture, which is a very big growing field right now in the technology space. But we're also interested in technologies allowing to store and sequester or to valorize carbon in the ocean, but also inland. Something that is very important to highlight here is that we are not looking only for startups. We are looking for technology projects. So we welcome also mature companies like SMEs, or we welcome also researchers, university project to apply. There are opportunities for you as well. The only requirement, I would say, is that we are looking for technologies that are at least at the TRL 3 to 4, which is basically an experimental proof of concept. So this is the minimum stage we will ask from you. And then you can be a researcher, a university project, or a startup. You are really welcome to apply. And of course, we're interested to a solution that are even going to the commercialization stage. And of course, there will be different opportunities depending on your maturity. So regarding the opportunity we have for you, we want to provide the right answer or the right opportunity depending on your maturity. So for low TRLs, especially the researchers, we have a money price of 50,000 euros. This price can go to a company, of course, but it can also go to researchers through funding grants and sponsorship for developing R&D. And the more mature we go, and the more business opportunities we would like to provide. And here, this challenge is really a chance to open a door to discussions for potential industrial pilots, industrial partnerships, and scaling your technology. So that's all. We try to adapt the proposition we have for you depending on your maturity. Regarding the timeline, so this challenge started about a month ago. Right now we are in the application phase. This phase will end in November 11th. So please try to make your application on time. We will put the link to the application platform in the chat. After this date, Hello Tomorrow and Repsol and Galp teams together will evaluate and assess the applications. We'll try to select the most promising project from low TRL but also high TRLs. We'll have then a selection of companies and of our project. We might make a few calls with the applicants to try to align also on the interest and or your technology, to dig a little bit further, to understand a bit better what you have to propose. But basically, in the end of the month of November, we will have finalists, the challenge finalists. There is not a right number of finalists right now. It will depend on the quality of the applications, of course. And these finalists will be invited to an event that will be held by Repsol and Galp currently in the month of December. The date is not stated yet, but it should be around that timing. And here you will have the opportunity to pitch in front of people from Repsol and Galp, from different kind of stakeholders, and you'll be able to start engaging on discussions to find ways to collaborate together. And that will be the end of this challenge, and we'll be able to celebrate the matching of your technology with some business cases. So this is really it for the challenge. Now we'll leave the room for questions. We have people from the operation side, from the innovation, from the technical, also the scientist side. So really feel free to ask your questions here. We'll take them one by one. If some people will have too many questions, well, we'll answer them, but we have a bit of time right now. We have a first question here. Okay, so we have several questions.
There is one from Anna. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to read this to our team, for the team of Galp and Repsol. So it's Anna from Blue Methane Startup, wondering if this challenge would be interested in investing into the project focusing on methane removal as well from the water reservoirs to reduce the world's methane emissions, and at the same time to create a new source of renewable energy. So that's her question. If one of you would like to answer that. I know the name of it is CO2, but
yeah, I can answer. Yeah. Well, as all the audience, first of all, thank you very much for all the audience to be here. And regarding the question, is not the scope of this challenge, but well, of course, I think that also Galp, we are involved in all the solutions that can reduce our CO2 production, including the methane removal. But it's not the scope, so we don't have here the specific the technical people for that. But of course, if you have an idea for this solution, we will be glad to hear and to know more about it. I don't know if Manuel had to add something.
Yeah, on that answer, it's exactly the same thing. Yeah, we are completely aligned, Sandra. Okay. And in the other one, the next one that I see here in the chat, probably I can give my 2 cents.
Of course,
the
go
question
ahead.
from Michael.
Perfect.
Do you have to be a winner to engage with Galp and Repsol? Absolutely not. Actually, what we intend with this, there will be a winner, obviously, that is going to win the 50K. But we can do proof of concepts with other startups or anybody else that doesn't win. So what we are actually looking is for technology and for solutions. And so definitely, even if you are not the winner, or if you are if you don't go to the final stage, if you have an interesting solution, we'll definitely be looking for it.
That's right.
Okay, so we had also, or it was quite the same question from Patrick. I see some people starting questions in the chat, but yeah, feel free to end them. We are here for that. But yeah, thank you to emphasize on that, Manuel. It's not just one winner who will get the chance to work. All the applications will be considered, will be analyzed, and some will be more important on the short term. But it doesn't mean you won't get an introduction to the relevant people in the company that are able to treat also your specific application. Feel free also to ask more technical questions. We have scientists here for you today. So yeah, there is a question regarding the IP, so intellectual property. So how do you manage IP when you collaborate with startups? So let's say like that you finance. I guess the question is around that. If you finance a bit of the R&D, so how are you structured regarding IP management with startups? Maybe we can start with Repsol.
Yeah, of course. When we collaborate with the startups, the IP usually is the IP from the startup who it's maintaining in the startup. We don't want to this IP. What we are looking for is to join efforts to construct a solution for our technical goals. But there we don't seek to obtain this IP.
Okay. Yeah, I for Galp side, I can say exactly the same thing. So if there's anything that is developed by the startup, their IP is theirs. Obviously, if we go to a later stage, and we can all, in any case, we can look into a type of contract where then the startup becomes a supplier or becomes part of our company, but we don't intend to be on this to getting IP. I mean, we are interested obviously in the technology, but and the solution. But the solution, in our understanding, is part of the startup.
Yeah. Another different thing is, for example, if we start a co-development project with the startups, in this case, the case will be changed, but it would be a specific co-development project with DAs or all the things that we have to sign.
Exactly. The same thing here.
Okay, thank you. We have a question from Josh. It's true that for some of the technologies, especially in air capture, it's very capital intensive, and one way to help them grow is to develop purchasing of future carbon credits. Is it something that you're interested? To rephrase Josh, are you open to pre-market commitments for CO2 credits, or are you really? I mean, that's a business model more question. Is it part of what you do and more into the direct air capture? For instance, how can you help them today to grow?
Regarding the CO2 credits, it's a thing that we have in mind, but it's not our goal, and it's a little bit part of the solution, but not our main goal.
Yeah, the same here.
Could help, but anything else.
Yeah. The same thing here. For us, we are much more focused on the technology and in finding solutions. The CO2 credits could help in the investment or could help in the future to do something, but it's not at all our focus either. So it's something that can help, but it's not a game changer.
Okay, thank you. We have a question for Christina, actually a previous Hello Tomorrow winner. Thank you for being here, Christina. So for transition to renewable energy, are you looking only at existing battery technologies, or are you open for more frontier tech, so beyond lithium? We are a bit out of scope of the challenge, but it's a way to... and I know that they are using also CO2 in their process for batteries, so it's not that much out of the scope.
Okay. Well, I could answer that one. I've been talking about batteries. As you know, for us, lithium battery, ion lithium batteries are already out of innovation. You know, it's something that is a business unit for us today, and it's we are, as I was telling you, we are building a battery value chain from extraction to final product with that, and we plan to do our that will become business as usual. Definitely, we are looking into other technologies, and we could. I know this is out of scope, but yes, if you have different technologies of batteries, we are always help to look into it.
Okay, great. Thank you for the answer. So we have a question also from Narcisse from Electro Kia. I hope I pronounce it well, which are much more mature companies. So he says that they are doing biomethanation of CO2, and they are between TRL 9 and commercial stages. They have already demonstrated their technology, and they are looking to develop their first commercial like industrial site. Is it the right place to apply for them? So are you we are really like a really mature technology right now. We are speaking with really mature. So yeah, what are you can you provide today some answers for those kind of companies through this challenge? So really here we're talking fully commercial plant.
Mm-hmm.
I can answer for that. I have one question that is related to the R&D that they need to do that, or if they consider that the technology is already well established in a certain way, and they are ready to go for a commercial units according what they mentioned. I think that it could be of interest for Galp and for Repsol, both options. But of course, we need to see how to deal with these two options.
Okay. Would you wanted to say something, Sandra, or?
Totally agree. Yeah, with
Okay.
Fernando.
Yeah, they still need to develop several aspects of the technology, as they said. So I guess it's clearly in interest of this challenge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, great, thank you. So new question from Patrick. So they are using artificial intelligence and high throughput experimentation to create next generation of materials for direct air capture. Sorry. Do you more adopt materials internally, or do you scale up, manufacture, and commercialize? I'm not sure I understand really well the questions from Patrick, but
maybe Michaela on our side.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure. So at Repsol, we're definitely interested to develop materials in-house, as well as look outside for materials that are already in place. So artificial intelligence in anything with regards to computational modeling can help us in that process. So definitely apply. We would be interested to understand what you have.
Great, thank you. We also had a question from Andy, also a bit more technical. So do you have specific emission gases that you would like to avoid emitting and valorize into products? So is it really CO2, or do you have also NO or SO based emission gases that would like to capture? Or are you really only focused on CO2?
I think this challenge is primarily focused on CO2. But go ahead. But we are definitely, obviously, focused on looking at all the green gases. So if you have a particular unique opportunity that is elsewhere, maybe it will be worthwhile for you to submit your application so that we are aware of it. But this challenge is primarily focused on CO2.
Yeah, I think.
Go ahead, Manuel. I don't know who was about this.
It's something that we won't discard everything that is not exactly in the challenge. I'm sure that, and it's always the same at every innovation or startup challenges that we do. We have very nice startups that are a bit out of scope, and we always redirect these kind of applications to right people. So don't say it to everyone who wants to work with Repsol and Galp. Everyone, please don't apply to this challenge just because you want to work with Repsol and Galp. But yeah, definitely don't worry too much about that. I think what we really want you to do is that you project yourself into collaborating one way or the other with Repsol and Galp and say, okay, I can answer that, and that's what we could do. That's what we're doing here today. That's what we could do together. That's really important for us, that you project yourself into a collaborative or even maybe investment mindset. We have another question from Christina. That have you adopted yet any carbon capture technology at the present, right? Do you already?
I can answer from Galp. We have already scouted a lot of technologies in what concerns to carbon capture, and we have already looked to the carbon capture technologies on the pipeline for the next upcoming years, but we haven't adopted yet at the field a carbon capture technology itself. So we are doing deep dive on the subject, but not still applied on the field.
And then maybe from Repsol's and with regards to point source capture, we have been implementing point source capture at our Petronor facilities. So in terms of point source capture, we have that in place, but we're always interested in looking at new innovations within point source capture. With regards to DAC, it's a newer space. We are currently engaging in those. We recently made an announcement for a unit of 300 tons per year to be implemented in Brazil as part of our ecosystem there. And we're currently in the process of scouting DAC companies for that purpose.
Okay, great. Thank you for the quick feedback. We start to be at the end of questions, I believe. Do you still have some? Feel free. We still have a few minutes to go for this event, so feel free to still ask some question. I think it was interesting. We had some very technology precise, but also more general questions. So yeah, feel free. We still have a few minutes left. I see Christina still typing. Well, in the meantime, did you, maybe I'm turning again to Sandra or Sylvia or Manuel, did you have anything to add more generally on the challenge? If you had maybe an advice or a general a thing to say to the applicants here?
Well, only to highlight, like you said before, that we are open to not only startups, also universities, research centers, and there are a very broad scope on the TRL. So it's not especially in the scale commercial scale. So TRL 3 or 4 is also available, so is also acceptable. So I think that it's a good opportunity for the people working on this technology to apply.
Okay, great. I think I will rephrase Christina's question, but I understand. Is it a problem for you if applicants are already collaborating with other companies and maybe like energy companies? Is it a no-go for you, or is it not an issue on your end?
That's a good question. I mean, from our side, we are more focused on the solution than in who's working with whom. The question is, if it's something that's really good, and if you are already working with some other companies, it's something that we have to look into it. But at least here we don't have any taboos on if you are already working with some competitor, you cannot work with us. But it's something that I would say that it depends, obviously, on the circumstances of what's the collaboration, right?
Yeah, we have to search in the specific, I think, scope or project, because, well, Repsol and Galp could be competitors, but we are joined here, so it depends on the project, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
I believe there is another question that was not answered from Jane Cristobal. So maybe.
About point source capture?
Yes.
Yeah, I think Michaela answered about it. So I received personally a questions on private a few days ago, and the applicant was asking, what does it require so that you can launch a proof of concept? So, when do you think there is a proof of concept that you can fund or that you can develop? So, at what stage of maturity do you really start to to make industrial pilots or proof of concepts? So, what is really required from their end, in terms of maybe finance or technology maturity, experience in the industry? So what are kind of the global criteria for you to say, okay, let's do a pilot together?
But not specifically in this challenge, in our overall approach.
Well, in general and more specifically here, for this technology, I would say,
Okay, well, it depends, because even for this specific challenge, there is technologies that are in different levels of maturity and developed. So we can start a pilot in the assets in a lab scale, or in a pilot, in an industrial scale. So it depends in the TRL where we can start this pilot. But we can, I think that if, as Galp and Repsol has this kind of assets, labs and industrial assets, it could be performed in every TRL, I think. I don't know, Manuel.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I make my words yours. It's actually, and it depends, and I think it's important to say this. We don't have, if the technology is good, or if you can convince us that the pilot can go anywhere, or the proof of concept it's viable, we don't even have a budget cap for this. We understand that doing this at a level, a lab level, it's lower TRLs, and it's normally cheaper. Doing it in an industrial facility in the real world, it's more expensive. But it's if you convince us the technology is good, that won't be a problem. We are open to do both.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you for the answer. We still have room for one or two questions quickly. If you guys want to ask yours. I think we received some questions around the geographies. So I know some people asked me in the past. We're located in California, so maybe it's hard to talk industrial matters with Spanish and Portuguese. So do you have records of working with those kind of companies, or maybe you have other places around the world to incubate, or would they have to locate? So how can you manage the international also companies when you have maybe a company with 6-7 people at the other side of the world? How do you envision at least the collaboration or the discussions?
Well, I can start. we don't have any problem with any locations around the world. We have performed pilots with startups in Spain, in Europe, and also in Canada, United States. So there is not a problem. Depending on the pilot, could be performing in our assets or in the startup facilities, or even in another partner facilities in other country. So there is not a problem, the location.
Yeah, for us, it's exactly the same thing. Even I can tell you that for us, normally, it's easier to do pilots or work with Brazilian universities than it is to do it here. So we are open to do it wherever and in any university or any lab or on the startup facility or any one of our facilities around the world. So I don't think geography is a problem. If the technology
in our case, the proof of concept platform that we have now, we have ongoing, some of them directly with the US companies and US startups, and we work in a normal basis with them, so no problem at all.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. So thank you for all the participants. Thank you to our speakers. Maybe you want to say your last words, Repsol and Galp. I think we are ready to end this session. Just a quick message to the audience. So we'll put on the chat the link to apply. But yeah, feel free to contact us, me directly, Lucas at Hello Tomorrow, or Vincent, if you have questions. If you want to have a call also with me to discuss about the opportunity, happy to do so. And yeah, we hope to see you numerous for this challenge. And yeah, I just maybe leave the mic for our last few words to Sandra, Sylvia, and Manuel.
Yeah, only that we are really excited to receive all the solutions and the disruptive solution that we know that all the audience have. So please feel free to ask, like Lucas said, and apply for, because I think it's a really good opportunity to share your initiatives with the Repsol and Galp.
Yeah, and as Manuel has mentioned before, don't forget that it's not only a winner; it's the entrance point. That's the first way that we can speak and we can detect a really good opportunity, really good technology, and start to talk about a potential collaboration in the future.
Yeah, that's it. I would say the same thing. So consider this the beginning, not the end. So this challenge is just the beginning, and we will be here. And as we told you before, the challenge is so big, we need so much help, and we are open to collaboration. So come forward and good luck.
Thank you very much. I think we can close the event. And so have a great day all, and see you soon for the challenge. Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.